Hello and welcome back to another fabulous Friday installment of Disinformed After Dark. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael. Courtney.
Michael.
Well, the Titanic apparently has officially sunk, and of course we're going to have our first After Dark sans Miguel. Furthermore, it is appropriate and odd, nay ironic, that the first time we are losing Michael is the last time we are doing a hypothetical from the original box.
He could have just said that he didn't want to do it, that he just wasn't into it.
Or he's out by popular demand, who knows?
People that actually respond.
Yes, there we go. So Michael is apparently being exorcised at the present and having his soul just drained out of his body. So unfortunately, he is out, which means we are going to be tailoring our recording somewhat this week. And so our sincerest apologies that you saw nothing in the way of a My Immortal recording this week on Wednesday, because sometimes things happen that require an expletive that is not allowed on the tubes of you, at least for 2 minutes.
Right.
But we're going to soldier on. We're going to try to keep this professional, and we're going to try to make this entertaining, because that's something we're great at. But
it's known.
In case you are completely blissfully unaware of what we do here, we are the hosts of an incredibly popular podcast called the Disinformed Podcast, which flees from your preferred provider app every marvelous Monday morning. We will occasionally talk about a random esoteric topic, and we will lie about it just to try to keep you interested. And subsequently, we will do a little decompression episode here to air grievances and just because we simply cannot get enough of one another's company. So that's what we're here to do.
We exchanged purity rings before we rolled.
That's true.
You don't want to know where I pulled mine out of, but
I did it with my tongue, and I did it with great fever. Fervor, fever. Sue me.
Both. You brought the Pepe. I brought the Le Pew.
I bring the hurt and the heel.
Yipes. Courtney, anything you want to add to your incredibly engaging topic from this week?
You keep saying that, and it keeps making me second guess it more and more. Y'all can just say it was bad.
No. I mean, you can't do a comedy act in a trench in the midst of being shelled. I mean, it's just, one of those things. So
I think it was incredibly engaging. I liked it just because I am, still traumatized from growing up in a religious household.
Certainly.
So
I think what we're trying to convey here, Courtney, is I'm saying you soldiered on bravely trying to finish your meal after Daddy hit Mommy at the dinner table. And that's a very difficult set of circumstances to find yourself under. And so I applaud you. This has nothing to do with you. Just one of us was apparently dying over the course of that episode, and I'm just a prick. So not much to be accounted for on either end. But here we are.
It was weird watching Michael on our call
cry throughout the whole episode. Yeah.
The thing is, I guess I'm just really bad at reading his two emotions because because I was looking at his face and I thought he was turning off the light halfway through the episode because Shane turned off his light, and I thought he was trying to do a bit, and then I realized he's not doing a bit. The poor guy just has a tension migraine, and it's getting worse and worse as the episode goes on. And then he told us after we stopped rolling that he almost had to get up in the middle of recording to go vomit. And bless his heart, he still wanted to just try and soldier on. But I feel like everyone's better for not seeing what he looked like this week.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're here to be entertaining and to have fun. And when this ceases to be either of those things, it is somewhat a practice in futility. So it's not a battlefield. We don't have to soldier on and keep a brave face to keep the troops inspired. So I'm glad that we are sans Michael and not in the way you think. This is still kinder, gentler Shane here. So everybody prepared for a riveting hypothetical?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Hit me.
Well, speaking of purity, we're going to discuss for the final father fudging time.
Yay!
At least until we move to the next box.
No.
No purity ring on Mr. Klosterman. Worldwide perfection. This is an appropriate one to go out on, I think.
It lines up really well.
Yeah.
They usually do, actually. It's weird.
Call it fate, call it luck, call it karma. Scientists build a massive space station that allows mankind to control the worldwide weather. As a result, there are no more weather emergencies. There are no more droughts or floods or tornadoes, and global warming has been eliminated. However, there is an immediate demand for quote-unquote perfect days. Because the weather can be controlled, many people want the weather to be nicer and more predictable. A large segment of the populace wants there to be two specific dates, April 22nd and October 22nd, where every place on Earth would simultaneously experience ideal weather conditions for 24 hours. These 2 days would become worldwide holidays, ideal for weddings, reunions, outdoor sporting events, and any tourism or traveling that demands meteorological perfection. Every community on Earth would have perfect weather on those 2 designated days. However, the environmental community claims that this might be risky. There is no precedent for worldwide perfection, and environmental leaders fear that this could create problems we cannot foresee. It can't be nice everywhere, says the universal weather czar, Al Gore. At any given moment, at least 1/3 of the planet needs to be dealing with semi-crappy weather. However, no one can specifically prove why this alleged perfection would be dangerous, because it's never happened before. Where would you stand on this issue? Do you want the perfect, although potentially harmful, days?
Perfect to who?
That is a very fine point.
It's very subjective. I love rainy, gloomy weather.
Everything's relative.
So I would need a definition on what is the definition of ideal, and a global head nod, because if anything, lately that we've learned, it's that nobody wants to truly be happy, and no one is going to be happy. There's always going to be somebody who's like, well, that sucks. So I vote no. Yeah, I vote with the scientists, not because that they think that there's going to be an outcome, just because I don't feel like as a rate, like a human race, that we could all get together and agree. We couldn't pass stage 1, which is the debate on what is the ideal day, weather-wise.
You've been talking to Ted Nugent.
I sure have. Oh, Fred Bear.
Indeed.
Courtney?
I'm kind of the same boat as you, because I also really prefer like gloomy weather. So like if I got to pick what the perfect weather was for that day, I would just make it pouring down rain, because it was like perfect for like sporting events and weddings, I think is what it said. So I would just be like,
sorry, I didn't hear that.
Screw that. Like I'm just going to rain it out.
But again, what if for your wedding you wished it would be pouring rain on your wedding day?
That's not a thing, John.
It's like rain.
I knew somehow Alanis Morissette was going to manifest in the middle of
Well, it's because she's God, Shane.
She is, in fact.
And I am not.
How does one approach the vertical horizon? That's all I want to know. Which is, it sounds like a euphemism, depending upon who you talk to. And that poor band.
It kind of does, especially coming off of the Purity Ring episode.
And apparently you chose that verb very deliberately, but
yeah.
Okay. So final answer then, Courtney. No perfect weather for you either.
Yeah, no. Also, I don't like the idea of everybody being happy at once. That's just...
Well, congratulations, you're stepping on my answer, because I, as the designated and devoted misanthrope of this particular podcast, would say I delight in human misery. In fact, I attempt to engender it wherever possible. So, if I can, through sheer force of will, manage to manifest something that ruins everybody's day all at once, to hell with perfect weather. I say, damn the weather.
Oh, he did it. He said the thing.
I done it. I did that thing. So,
It's only a matter of time.
no, I've been managing to turn her off for years, I'm sure. It's no problem at
A
all.
certain Twitter account would beg to differ.
Oh God, here we go.
And she went for the straw, as though to assert the point even stronger, apparently. But it's a bad situation we find ourselves in. Ladies and gentlemen,
the purity ring concept here, which is that you are screwed either way.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I'll weather that comment. So,
Damn it. Damn it all, in fact.
Damn what,
indeed.
John?
Thank you. Hashtag damn it all. Well, podcasts and OnlyFans, ladies and germaphobes, thank you for being here for the final edition of both Chuck Klosterman's first round of hypotheticals and this show, because I'm fairly certain we're not going to make it. Someone has some defibrillator pads that are just set off to the side, and we're going to try to resuscitate it, but it might just flatline right after this moment.
We're just all of us are gonna die one by one.
Yep, we're just going to go
Be
quietly
first,
into
be
that
first.
good night.
I think Michael's actually beating you to the punch as we speak.
Yes,
Damn.
yes. He called Cobain, so the rest of us are just going to have to try to catch up.
Well, there's a shotgun sandwich block.
Oh,
Indeed.
Michael.
Allow me to be the Chris Novoselic of this group, and you will never hear from me again.
You're gonna go into politics?
Some might say I'm already there, my friend. Hashtag Hunt 2024.
You're off to a great start.
Yep.
Confidence is key.
I like those midterm elections. I much prefer those. It's better for all involved parties.
You have my vote.
Bless you.
And
I
Michael's
didn't even-
cough.
And my bow.
Courtney's axe.
Well, I'm living proof that I don't have to sleep my way anywhere, because nobody wants that. And if you want to prove that point to me, there are multiple times a week that you can do so. Firstly, we have new podcast episodes flying out in Marvelous Monday mornings, and of course we're back here usually on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Mountain Time for fabulous fan fiction, and then Fridays here, Tubes of You, 10 a.m. Mountain Time for Disinformed After Dark, and I assure you, every single one of them is as riveting as this installment is. Furthermore, we have social networks that you can eschew at all costs, just like you would if you saw us out in public. So, facebook.com/disinformedpodcast. At the Twitter, we have the handle of @disinformedpod. And then on the ever fabulous and also popular Instagram, @disinformedpodcast, you can see Courtney's marvelous work.
And her
she
husband.
does excellent work.
She sure does.
And just like that tree falling in the woods, we'll see whether anyone is around to appreciate it. But for After Dark this week, I happen to be Kenton Eldorado.
I am Timothy Lone Cactus.
And I'm Jean Grey Ghost.
And we would like to wish Michael a long and peaceful slumber. Good night, sweet prince.
Good night.